Hi there, my name's Louise Spalding and I'm a channeler, and we're making a series of videos featuring characters from this book that I have recently channeled. I actually didn't write it. It was written by a group of 20 celebrities who spoke through me last June 2013. And we are making these videos so that you can meet these folks. There are many names that you'll recognize. So we are doing these videos to help you understand their stories and to introduce you to Ananda, who is my who are my guides and teachers. So they will channel first and introduce themselves, and then we will have a guest. I'm not sure who it is, so we'll let Ananda introduce them, or the being themselves will introduce themselves. So this is a surprise for me too. So I'll let Ananda come through, and then we'll see who joins us. We're with you again, dear ones. Indeed, we say welcome, welcome, welcome to those of you out in the world who are watching this video. We are teachers. We are called Ananda. We are non-physical beings who come through this channel, which we call our dear one. She is very dear to us and part of our consciousness, in the sense that she works with us, bringing our messages to the world. Our messages are simple. They are truthful. They are the answers to the questions that you have about life, about death, about the reasons that you are incarnated on this plane. And we will briefly speak here about this project, this particular book project, The Great Minds Speak to You. What is happening here is that a group of non-physical beings that you would consider famous or infamous in your world, who have passed over into the non-physical, are working with us to bring messages to you about what life means, what their lives in particular meant to them, and what their afterlife experience is like. You see, when you are afraid of death, you do not really live your lives. When you are afraid of death, you protect things that do not need protecting. When you are afraid of death, you do not trust. You do not understand the infinite nature of your being. When you believe in death, which is not true, it is merely a doorway into another reality. You are misunderstanding what you are. You are not a body. Now you will say, how can I not be a body? Clearly I am a body. Well, no, your body is animated by you. It is not who you are. Who you are carries on forever and ever, and it will merge and blend many times with higher consciousness, with other aspects of yourself that have had other experiences in what you would consider incarnations. So you are like a lava lamp, we would say. A lifetime would be one of those globules of stuff that separates itself for a little while. It takes its journey, but then it reforms and connects with the source of its material. And you do the same thing. So your life is one of those bubbles, but it continues around and around and around, collecting information, collecting understanding. And when you fear the bubble bursting, when you fear death, you do not really comprehend your true nature. You do not really understand what you are. And so this group of beings, with the assistance of oversouls, which are organizing forces that are currently beyond your ability to understand, but we will say they are larger consciousness with higher vision, longer vision, organized consciousness that has brought these aspects together. These aspects come together because they speak to you in your society. Aspects that come together because you recognize their stories, you remember their movies, you remember their songs, and you loved them or hated them. Either way, it is good. Passion is good either way, whether you dislike someone intensely or love them intensely. It shows your nature, it shows your feeling self, and it is your feeling self that we want to speak to here. Your feeling self is put down in your society. You are told to suck it up, to behave yourselves, to get jobs and be quiet and conform. We are counseling the opposite of that. We are counseling radical free thinking. We are counseling radical creativity. And we are counseling radical forgiveness and unconditional love. We are asking you to take down the boundaries that normally constrain you. We are asking you to take down the fears that limit you and that cause you great anxiety and sadness. When a loved one of yours passes over, you are often lost for many years to grief, wondering what has happened and why you were punished with this loss. But that being has carried on into their own experience, the afterlife, and they are happy, they are joyful, and they do not miss the world. The world is a challenging place of separation and isolation at times, especially when you don't have the right information. So these stories come to you with great assistance from the non-physical, and these beings offer their stories to you. So we would like you to open your hearts, open your minds for a few minutes here, and just suppose that this being is who they say they are. Listen to their story, listen to their explanation of what has happened to them and what their life meant. It is their truth, and it is the truth. This experience is what it appears to be. There is no deception here. There is only honest transmission of information. And so we ask you to sit back in your chair as you watch this video and put aside for a moment your disbelief, put aside for a moment your limitations and ideas of chicanery and untruth, and listen to these voices that offer you their story, that offer you their explanation of what happened to them and why. So we will pass our dear one over to the next being who wishes to speak. This being is Marilyn Monroe, the movie star that you know so well and that has been loved and talked about for decades. She is excited to speak through this channel, through this opening in what you would consider the veil between life and death. But we intend to remove that veil very clearly and deliberately so that you can hear these stories and so that you can understand more about your own experience, about your own lives. This is Marilyn here. This is a wonderful opportunity for me to share my story with the world. Your adoration of my image calls to me, and so I have responded through this particular medium because the call is endless, the adoration is endless. My image is more popular now almost than it was when I was alive, and so the thoughts of this time and place call to me all the time to bring the truth of my life to an audience that is still curious, that never understood what happened to me. So my journey through the movie making business was a challenging one for me. I was very, very insecure, but you know this about me, you know those stories. But the stories that you don't know are what happened to me in death and in the afterlife, and that is what I will speak about tonight. My death was an accidental one in what you would consider human terms, but it was not accidental in spiritual terms. There are no accidental deaths in spiritual terms. You are always taken at the time that you agreed to be taken, unless you have become so lost that you must be brought home to clarify the mind, to recalibrate the mind, to reorganize the mind. This happens when beings are very drug addicted and very lost in psychosis. I was not that lost. I was depressed, there is no doubt. And the drug overdose that happened to me was indeed accidental. Upon my passing, I went through a journey into the non-physical that is very much what you hear described in near-death experiences, a journeying towards the light, a feeling of love, a feeling of expansion and relief. And as I entered into that light, my ego mind fell away. And this is a wonderful experience. It is a very joyful experience. A feeling of going from a fear and isolation and separation into a feeling of oneness, into a feeling of expansion, and into a feeling of understanding. This was the most wonderful part of it for me. I understood what had happened to me. I understood almost in a moment the meaning of my life. I had been so identified with my physical body, and people had been so enamored of my physical appearance that the spirit that was contained inside of that body was somewhat lost. And that was seen clearly by me when I passed over. I looked back almost instantaneously, looking over my shoulder at myself, if you will, and saw that I had lost track of what was valuable. And I had listened to the stories about myself, the marketing plan of the movies. I had listened to that story myself, and I had become confused about what was important. When I arrived in what you would consider the astral plane, there were my teachers and guides waiting for me, which was a wonderful, wonderful experience. I had some spiritual understanding, and so this journey was not a terrifying one for me. I was a little confused at the beginning because of the drug overdose, which altered my ability to understand for a little while, but it did not last for long, and I was greeted by beings who offered me love and understanding and caring, as you all will be when you pass over. You too will be met by your guides and your teachers, those beings that help you understand what has happened in your incarnation. And so that is what happened to me, my life review. We all have life reviews where we look at what we have done, we look at the mistakes we made, but we are shown with absolute unconditional love where we made choices that took us down pathways that did not serve us. And we were shown the complete picture. We were shown why we did it. We were shown the fears that caused us to make poor decisions, and we were shown the consequences of those decisions. And so this is a very enlightening experience, but it is all done with love. It is all done with joy and peace and harmony at its core. There is not one iota of judgment in this experience. And so I carry on now in this non-physical experience, choosing to work in particular areas. I have a creative mind, I have an expanded mind here, and so I'm not limited to what you would consider the physical form of Marilyn. I am able to join with other minds who are like-minded. I am able to learn. I am able to express myself in whatever way I choose. And in this world, you can express yourself however you like. You can make landscapes that you enjoy. You can spend time with loved ones or teachers who are far wiser and more expanded in consciousness than you are. There is music, there is dancing, there is anything that you want, and there are levels of understanding that are beyond the small human understanding. It is a wonderful, wonderful experience. Now, I am being prepared to come back. This is what you would consider my last journey into this particular time and place. I will be going into another time and place, taking those experiences that I now understand from that incarnation, taking those experiences with me, not as Marilyn, but as a different personality, but that experience will go, and that person may, like Marilyn, that person may approve of her movies and these kinds of things and feel an affinity to her. This is how some of those experiences will be translated into a new incarnation. But this is not the story. The next life is not the story. Just know that there are more lives. Your life now is to live with knowledge and understanding that you are not the body that you are in. This is what drove me to depression and sadness. You are the creative mind connected to divinity. But if you are locked into the body, if you are confused about what you are, then you will identify too much with the material world and you will become frightened, you will feel small and limited, and you will often become depressed because it is an overwhelming prospect for a small individual body to survive this world. But if you connect to your guides, if you connect through prayer and meditation and healthy living to the non-physical world, you will receive information and understanding that will bring you peace, that will bring you knowledge. Knowledge can only come to you when you are happy and joyful. That is when we can communicate with you. That is when we can get messages to you about what we consider reality. Your world really is not reality as Spirit sees it. Spirit understands oneness, is oneness. This world that you are living in is a manifestation of separation and is a manifestation of fearful ideas. That is why the world is such a challenging place. But if you align yourself with Spirit, if you focus your mind on Spirit, that is the key in the door that opens up a new opportunity for you to step away from limited thinking, fearful thinking, controlled by others, into a world of expanded ideas and creativity and messages from non-physical beings. We are always offering our wisdom. We are always eager to communicate, and it is a wonderful opportunity that I am experiencing now to be able to share these ideas through this wonderfully clear channel that is offering up her services. So that is my story tonight, just to let you know that this is an experience that is real, that this is an experience that you too will have when you pass over. So it is very important for you to understand that connection to Spirit, connection to the non-physical will bring you much happiness in your life and will erase those concerns and those fears and those worries about the body and aging and these terrors that haunt us when we are physically incarnated. They are no fun at all. I did not enjoy my terrors and nightmares of what was going to happen to me as I aged in that particular profession, in that particular way. So I will be speaking many times to share my message with those of you who are interested, but this is a small introduction that we are making here using the wonderful technology that is available to you. So think about what I have said and look at your own life. If you are worried about your body dying, if you are worried about how you look or how you think you should look, do not focus on that. Focus on your creativity, focus on meditation and prayer, and ask for assistance from your guides. They are there waiting. They are there waiting for you to speak to them. They are waiting for you to overcome your fears and to expand your mind into new realms, new areas of understanding. Thank you for allowing me to speak, and thank you for the time you have spent here. We're with you again, dear ones. Indeed, this is a wonderful message, and it is our message. You are not a body. That is a vehicle, a car, nothing more. You do not cry when you need to buy a new car. You do not need to be sad when you need to trade this vehicle in for a new one. There are expanded landscapes, expanded consciousness that you will enter into. So we are going to end our session with you now and ask you to contemplate the ideas that have been brought forth in this particular recording, but we would like to point towards this book that is available to you to purchase. It has been brought through to you in the 21st century in North America for a reason, because the stories in that book tell you some things that you need to know about how to live your life, how to expand your consciousness, and how to experience the experiences you are having with understanding and clarity, so that you do not confuse yourselves any more than you are confused. You are a confused lot, there is no doubt about it. So we will speak to you again. We are Ananda, we are your friends, fellow travelers and co-creators on this journey, and we wish you the best this evening, and we will speak to you again soon. I'm Tina, hi, and this is the book, Great Minds Speak to You, and take a look at it. It's a very interesting book, and it's changing how I look at the world and how I look at my life. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you again soon.